episode 4 of the Amazing People of Glastonbury, and today I've got Puck the Bard with me. Puck's one of the first people that I met on the high street, and the first time that I met Puck, he was telling a beautiful story. I don't remember exactly what the words were, but I remember that it made me laugh, and I remember thinking to myself, how special that in Glastonbury there's a bard on the high street. Bards are some of the oldest, most ancient of storytellers, but I think that Puck would be better at telling us about bards than me. So hey Puck.
Hi there.
Would you mind, for your first question, telling us what a bard is and about the ancients, group of bards, the guild of bards?
The Guild of Bards sounds really boring to me.
So what would you say you do as a bard? You tell stories in a beautiful way with song?
Yeah, it could be
You
beautiful.
write history, yeah.
It could be beautiful, yes. I'd like to... a lot of the stories might not be so beautiful seeming. They're about quite traumatic events. This is what the tribe goes through to be a tribe, but everything isn't Rivendell all the time.
Yeah. Well, that is true. It's not all sunshine and roses always, is it? But it's still important
Elven
to have...
song. You've got to keep the elfin song going. They all left by ship. And it's been barren here since.
Do you ever predict a return?
No. Oh, a return of... I leave it kind of open. It's tantalizing. I've sung of them leaving or coming back. I'm not specific on it. One song I do this in is called Silver Ships on the Sea. I did that a long time.
Did you write that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. Is that one of your favourites that you've ever written? It's difficult to have favourites when they're your own, aren't they? Because they mark different times in your life.
Yeah, it did mark a time. It marked the end of my so-called youth, or my teenage time, just before I was 20. And I just kind of wrote it innocently, but I think it brought on a sort of fey reality. The reality of the iron, the fey can't cross. I don't know what it's like in the nuclear age that we're in now. I mean, iron stopped the fairies and the magic from being so current. The Romans come up with a lot of iron. It's not really possible to connect so easily with the planet and the rest of the swirling galaxies with that stuff about. Maybe the atomic age will give us a better idea about that.
So, how long have you been living in Glastonbury for, Puck?
At this time, I've been living here, I think it's maybe 2.5, 3 years now, which is, I've been coming here since the early 80s, but I never once wanted to live here, because it's nuts.
In a beautiful way.
Sometimes.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, you've got to
Nuts
take
in
it all.
a nuts way.
It's nuts in
And
a
I
nuts
don't mean
way.
hazelnuts.
But there's a lot of wonderful people on this street, and I feel like Glastonbury really does open up your heart chakra, doesn't it? What's been the most Glastonbury thing you've seen on the Glastonbury High Street as Puck the Bard? Which moments stand out?
Joseph of Arimathea.
You've seen
No, but yeah. Gwynap Neath living in the Tor. Oh no, I didn't see him either though, sorry. The most... well, do you know, this street is a spiritual tacky house, drag, hill, going up through town, with useless shops. Some things, it's better than Camden, but they're good people.
They are good people.
I mean, some of them are. They're good people there, Fairyland Aromatics. They're good people there, 100 Monkeys.
100
They're
Monkeys are
good
great.
people, the Abbey Muse. My opinion is. We just had Mark in the music shop, the comic shop, the post office. We've got a post office, ladies and gentlemen, and gnomes and fairies and salamanders. We have
Ananda.
plenitude, really. The more I look at it, the more wonderful it is.
You see? And Pox, what's your favourite tale to tell of Glastonbury?
Well, I mentioned Gwyn ap Nudd.
Yeah.
Gwyn ap Nudd is, he resides in the Tor. He's the lord of the underworld. He has flame-eared hound. Celtic mythology, they're red and white, but they're supposed to be the colours of the underworld, though. The dog's ears are flaming red, and they're white dogs. But I like to have, they've got flaming red ears, and their eyes are red and green. Now that's not Celtic, that's David Bowie. But that makes them mystical creatures. And Gwyn ap Nudd has Cwnanwn, which is hound, Cu, of the underworld, Anun. And they go around here searching for the fallen virtuous, in order to take them to their next residence after this life. I guess it's much of a much for how you live your life as to where you might end up, what little house is prepared for you after your death or your next entry. But Gwyn ap Nudd and his, it's not Valkyries, but I think he has his dogs to help him. Valkyries being the Norse women.
Yeah.
But he has the people to help clean up and sort out the dead. This would be among my favourite tellings of Glastonbury.
Have you got a YouTube or a Facebook or a social media channel where anyone watching can tune in and see your tales?
I've got lots of
I know you
stuff.
do live ones.
There's lots of stuff out of me. I don't know if it's any good. Quite a bit of it's taken in this doorway.
Yeah.
But surely you can put links on this.
Yes, I can. I'd like to be able to link people up to your stories through this.
When people tell me that I'm a good storyteller or that, it's like I'm almost thinking, I better learn how to tell stories then, because it's not something I remember actually trying to do. But if it comes across that I'm telling stories, then I must be a storyteller. If people keeps telling me this, but I'm a bit.
It's a magical tradition, though.
I guess so.
To be
yeah.
a bard.
It seems to me
as old as time.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. I'm just going prevaricating here. It's a bit difficult to place it.
Yeah,
to say it would take the mystery out of it to be too clear.
Yes, it would. You're right.
And then Glastonbury Caister would just be a tacky place full of banana cases, and the biggest psychiatric ward open air in Europe, and that I think the best description by a street person on TV. I thought that was it.
Well, I have a friend who refers to Glastonbury as an open asylum.
Yes,
but
I think we're getting to it.
But what I've realised from living in Glastonbury, I wonder if you agree with me, is that everyone's crazy. It's just the level of crazy and whether you can function through it or not. Are you functional crazy, or do you need to go into an asylum because you need to learn how to be functional crazy?
My parents didn't abuse me, they didn't get me, but they gave me a basis to not be fucked up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be solid on my feet and do something that was not statistical or by numbers, so mathematical harmony of numbers of the universe, but I wanted to do something that was not intellectual, that they could get a heart grab on, but something even more mysterious than just something like the heart, because even with these names of things you could get hung up on it.
Yeah.
It's a song. It's limitless to me. I attempt to deliver from this basis that my parents gave me, that I could be like nuts and bananas to the quantum. But I managed to be that, but to be that with my so-called feet on the ground, and maybe as a musician and what people now call a bard, be able to help them with the day-to-day real, or maybe illusion real, difficulties that people have with their brains.
Well, what's real is all in our mind, isn't it? Because it's all mental projection, and so what's real is all relative to the person. It is, isn't it? So, Pock, second last question is, What's your favourite thing about what you do? What do you love the most about music and storytelling?
I like it. I don't
Because it's an
care
escape.
about applause.
Yeah.
I don't care about people liking me. I don't go around doing things to make people not like me, I don't think. And if I do, hell. What I like is when the story is told and there's a teller and a so-called audience, but there's something that happens where that becomes a bit indistinct.
Yeah.
And it's not a show, and it's not a performance. And what it is, I can't place. I can't place what it is at all. It's a memory link to mirroring back from the other people that I've met and their stories, and also old ancient stories of this land which I've studied, and musics which I kind of studied, and also the life that I've lived as a self-invented bard, actually, of the earth.
Yeah.
Who has taken it into practical action. Well, I've associated with other practical people, put it that way. And they accept that I can do what I do, which has been amazing. So I have received applause for things, but where I really know is not applause. It's when people are absorbed within a telling, or I feel this reciprocation going backwards and forwards between the music or the tale or the guitar or my vocal and other receptives. Now this evening of time of receiving song, and that might go on after that I've finished my song, and other people would start to come forth with their own creative offerings or stories that they've garnered from their lives and from the land. I enjoy stories about the land, from the land, and the land can include like the land of other planets and so forth.
Yeah.
But I know that this is the planet where we live,
Yeah.
and I haven't really heard of another one that exists.
No.
And
well,
I'm a
not
bard
yet.
because of the atom bomb and the hydrogen bomb and other things that destroy life. That is why I'm a bard, in order to speak about the things that don't have voice, as I say, like the trees and the stones. Like maybe they're okay though. They just burn. I don't know. Trees feel stuff. So do stones.
Yeah.
It's painful. It becomes some other interstellar explosion and eventually become another planet, or something in a zillion possibilities,
Yeah.
but maybe never. But in the moment, I want to be a bard that reminds people that we need to breathe air.
And be kind to each other.
Being kind to each other is the paramount thing. This is very difficult.
The interview.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that over?
Yeah. Well, I can cut it if you're getting tired. Okay.
No,
Final
but I
question.
could finish at any moment. It's all like I can die any moment. So go on.
Final question. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it
No,
like
I'm
a
saying
huge
what I mean.
question. Yeah.
Don't be sorry.
If you could convey a message from the heart of Avalon to everybody watching who hasn't been able to visit Glastonbury yet, what would your message be? With love from Glastonbury.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Yes, that's a big one. What was that one by Dr. Seuss? Say what you think and think what you feel, because the people who mind don't matter and the people who matter don't mind. It's a good one, isn't it? Love a bit of Dr. Seuss.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, my mother wouldn't let me read that, of course. It was bad grammar. Sort of thing. Well, yeah, that's been amazing.
And thank you for the interview, Pop.
Sorry.
That was brilliant. I loved it. I think you did a great job.